Hey everybody, this is Lee of Youtees, and it's December 31st, and before we get into the new year, I just wanted to touch base with you again. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because this is just one of those pathetic little roaches that it's just going to keep nipping and doing stupid little things that make no sense, and I'm too professional to waste my time and channel on that. But at the same time, you need to know what the real deal is with guys like this. So I'm doing a little update on our resident crazy. First signed up, and he calls himself Wilson Lee, and he's gone on YouTube as Youtees 2, Youtees 3. Got suspended for both those names for impersonating me and harassing me with the nature of the videos he put up. And then he came back as Youtees, just like my name, only with an extra Y in the front of it. So he's been reported to YouTube for imitating me based on that. Now so far he's got 3 videos up, and this guy must have a real hard time using a video camera, because now he's not even making videos that last a whole minute. And so anyway, but now as Youtees, Yyoutees, I'll say it just so you know the difference. I'm Youtees, have been since 2007, and I've been at my trade for a long time before then. 22 years building, 33 years all-phase experience in screen printing. I haven't ripped anybody off, haven't had the need to. The creativity of my inventions and my ideas have come from my really being in the trade and seeing what's really needed for it and what the trade is lacking. And that's exactly where the invention, the idea for on-screen microtuners came. That's why anybody and everybody who's claiming to have had the idea before me hasn't contacted you via YouTube, internet, or with their own websites or anything else until years after I not only had the idea, but because it was such a good idea, I did something with it. So anyway, on that note, think about this. Do the math, because apparently Wilson Lee, he can not only not talk or spell or string 2 sentences together correctly, he can't do his math very well either. It's pretty reasonable to figure that somebody getting into screen printing probably isn't going to do much with it or have done much with it by the time they're 20 years old. They're certainly not going to be out there inventing things for the trade based on the real needs of the trade. I was already in screen printing a good solid 12 years before I came up with on-screen microtuning. And so think about it this way. On one of his channels that he got kicked off on, I think it was Youtees 2, Wilson Lee claimed that he came up with on-screen microtuners back in 1985. So let's say that he was 20 years old then, average time starting screen printing. I started just before my 19th birthday, I think, back in 1979. So if he came up with them in 1985, and let's say he was 20 years old, that's pretty young for getting into screen printing and doing that, but let's say that he did. Let's follow that timeline from 1985 to almost 2013. He'd have to be between 45 and 50 years old now. But when you look at his videos, especially if you saw the Youtees 2 and Youtees 3, the way he writes and responds to critics and all that, he acts like a guy who's about 10 years old or didn't even make it out of the 3rd grade. There's nothing about this guy that comes off professionally, whether it's his video production length, the way he talks, his grammar, his spelling. Can't do math, obviously. So do you buy into all of that? Of course not. Most of you don't. There's always going to be some who do, and I feel sorry for you. Just, stay out of real screen printers' ways, because we really don't need you. If you're so insecure that you have to lie, and you can't even be a good liar, it'd probably be better for you if you didn't even make sub 1 minute videos. So now he's got a guy, and I think it's just him, acting like he's somebody else, screen print something, who's saying, I bought a press from Wilson Lee in 1987. Okay, well again, do the math. That would mean this guy who bought a press from Wilson Lee in 1987, again, would have to be between 45 and 50 years old. most likely closer to 50, because I don't think that all this happened when these guys were in their 20-year-old range. Most people have very little, if any, screen printing experience by then, in or out of a shop. So I'm thinking these guys are 45, 50, between that. But what I more think is that this person is just an alias of Wilson Lee, because if you go on his channel, which was just opened up, he has 0 uploads, 0 subscribers, and 0 video views. So I think this channel is just thrown together by Wilson Lee or one of his buddies or whatever, so he could just add some bullshit to the bullshit that Wilson Lee, as Youtees, is already putting out there. So anyway, I'll give you a little update. And I've reported this to Gmail as well. Apparently Wilson Lee is misusing the whole Google system from YouTube to Gmail as much as he can. So I got this email the other day, and he first went on one of his sites and said this. I think it might have been Youtees 3, right before he was X'd off. He made a threat to somebody else in a string of manic posts. He was obviously really upset. So he's one of those people that just comes back and fires off all these posts because they can't think of everything they want to say the first time. So he made a threat toward me, and then the next day I got this email. And I didn't see it actually until the 28th because I'm too busy. But it comes from Wilson Lee. And here's what he has to say. Might have a little problem with the camera focusing here, but okay, here's how he says. I will be at your house by 5 p.m., motherfucker. Wilson Lee says, let's see, Wilson Lee. Okay, Wilson Lee, Youtees at gmail.com. He's impersonating me at Gmail as well, with just the extra Y. I am almost at your house. Be ready, bitch. Again, he doesn't know how to use periods. So anyway, I mapped it. When you go on somebody's email, you can go over to the right here and click Map It, and it will show you what that Gmail address is based on. It turns out that it's registered to a whole nother person, Allison somebody, at some Toastmasters location or something like that. So he's using somebody else's address to sign up fraudulently for email on Gmail. He's impersonating me on YouTube, not for the first time, not for the second time, but for the third time. And all the while, he wants you to believe that I'm the fake, that I'm the dishonest charlatan who didn't invent on-screen microtuners, when all along the way, since the time I've done it, I've been ethical and straightforward with anybody. As a matter of fact, it's that kind of logic and ethics that is the only reason I ever offered those to anybody anyway, because I first invented them for myself, just to give myself better screen printing, and people saw what I was doing and they wanted what I was doing. I didn't have to stand up and yell and scream with some idea that I stole from somebody else. It had an honest, ethical progression from the real world of screen printing through me onto the screens into my own work. And now here he is and his fake online buddies trying to pretend like they're standing up, and they're, you know, one day away from 2013. This has all happened between December 25th and today, December 31st. He's managed to get kicked off YouTube twice. And if you go look at his channels, let's see if I've still got this up here. I might have to, oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Gmail's constantly going, Google's constantly going through changes here. Okay, and the computer's going to lag a little bit because I just came and got on it. I just wanted to get this out of the way for today so I can just move on to every other important thing I have to do. And every other thing I have to do is more important than this, but alright, come on computer, wake up. So let's get rid of this the other way. Okay, well, at any rate, while that's happening, there's this top bar here. See if I can click over to YouTube. For some reason, when I come out and use the computer in the morning, the very first thing that I go to use it on. It's always kind of slow. So anyway, we'll get off of that for a little bit. But anyway, what I just want to say is what I've been saying to you guys. This is kind of weird because, well, it's a little bit more than kind of weird, but okay. As I've made clear on my website, I'm no longer even making my gear available over YouTube and the internet because of guys that are semi like this that had already convinced me that it wasn't worth my time, and it's not. I'd rather deal with honest people locally who are willing to pay for decent equipment that really works and the decent real-world training that goes behind it. It's a combination of those two things that I care about. If I was trying to steal something and see the most money I could make and get the most notoriety I could get from it, and I just wanted a lot of people to know that, ooh, I'm big because I invented microtuners. Actually, my life's a little bit bigger than on-screen microtuners, but I do stand up for it because it is my idea, and it's changed screen printing for a lot of people. When you really know your trade and your art, you bring something better to the table. And there's nothing wrong with having some pride for that, and I do, but it doesn't own me. It's not like these people who are standing up and trying to say that I didn't come up with it. What kind of false pride do they have? What is it that they have to prove to take something away from me that is mine? Simple as it is. It's not an earth-shaking discovery, but it is my discovery, and that's why I've stood up for it. So you can go look up, because it looks like my computer's still kind of in that morning mode. Go to YouTube and just look up Youtees, like you're going to look up me, Youtees, Y-O-U-T-E-E-S, but put an extra Y in front of it, and go look at Wilson Lee's channel, and look at his very short and crappy videos and the claims that he's making, that I'm the fake. But notice he says he'll have pictures of his equipment up soon. Well, why doesn't he have them right now from the start? Why didn't he have them when he put his first video up as Youtees? He's claiming that I stole an idea he's had since 1985, and yet he's got nothing to show for it. He won't show his face, because then we'd see how old he is. He's not old enough to fit the timeline of the claims that he's making, and he doesn't have the equipment. He's probably copying my stuff as close as he can right now, or looking for more pictures to steal and say that I stole the pictures from him. That's how he started out on Youtees 2, and he got busted because the picture he was saying that he got from me actually had screens that belonged to me. He lifted it off my site. So how could I steal a picture of equipment from him that happens to also feature screens from some demo jobs that I do? So he constantly gets caught in his own lies. He's the fake, and it's just probably the most pitiful example of what I've been telling you all to look out for. I told you before this guy even showed up that YouTube is getting worse and worse and worse. It's very easy for a crazy to get, or two or three or four or five, to get hold of a video camera and tell you all kinds of things. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Screen printing deserves more than that. You deserve more than that from screen printing, and from anybody posing to be a screen printing item inventor or whatever, or teacher. And I've given a lot more to screen printing. I've had real inventions, real ideas. I've gone the real way, which wasn't always easy to do, to make sure that those things would work right, not only for me but for other people. This guy is doing none of that. He's making weak claims. I mean, he doesn't even know how to be a very good fake. I mean, if I was a fake, I could be a way better fake than this guy, but I'm not a fake, because I had 600 people, 900 people I mean, in and out of my house before I ever got on YouTube, who saw my equipment with my microtuners. You're pretty stupid if you have people over to your house to lie to them and pull their leg. And I'm up here in Portland, Oregon. I never made it to where he is. He's not anywhere around where I am. We never met anywhere. There's no way, shape, or form this could have ever happened. And again, as I said earlier in another video, YouTube didn't exist. The internet didn't exist. There's no way we could have had contact with each other, especially not even being in the same city or state. But he's not thinking that, and he's going to trap all the people who can't think any further than he can either. So anyway, the new year starts tomorrow. I'm going to have a happy one. I hope you do as well. And I just want to kind of make this New Year's video to help you get a good start. I know that 99.9% of you are smart enough to figure all this out on your own. But as a favor to the very small percentage of you who aren't, heads up, because this guy's out there to take advantage of you and anybody else they can. And just be aware, you know, I'm proud of it, not in a bad way, but I'm proud that I've been in screen printing long enough to have helped build equipment for well over 3,400 people. If you added it up, everything that I've made for screen printing beyond presses, all the shops I've helped and been part of in one way or another, it's much more extensive than that. The fakers can never show that because they don't have it. They can't claim it because they don't have it. I have stacks of references. I have people who know I'm the real deal. As far as YouTube goes, there will always be the group that buys from you and you never hear from them again. They just, you know, YouTube is not even close to the best venue I've ever had to let people know about my equipment. I've met some really good people here, made some good continuing contacts for customer service and people that have their head on straight, and it's enjoyable for me to be a part of that progress they're in with my equipment and my training. I enjoy that. It's the only reason I ever came here. But you get all the rest that comes with YouTube. And unfortunately, this guy scrapes the bottom of the barrel as far as stupidity. And so, anyway, I just want to call your attention to it. And yeah, I'm just going to restart my computer here and get it past the morning blah. It wakes up slower than I do. So, anyway, hopefully you get the idea on guys like this, because if you don't, you better get it soon, because this is the reason I'm leaving YouTube, is because it's not because I'm afraid of anybody. I just know my stuff so well, and I care about what I do so much. I don't want to be even in the mix of this. Some places, you know, some places it's just not worth the fight to stand up and be seen in, and YouTube is that way. I'd much rather think about the people that I'll be building equipment for and teaching next week right here, and the screen printing that I'll be doing right here. That's how I started out, and that's what I'm back to. And above all, I want to thank the people who do have their heads on straight, who have come with me and supported me and understood, and all the people who've never said anything that still appreciate the information that I put up. Like I said, I don't sell equipment across the internet anymore. I'm still getting good people asking me to sell it to them, but because I can't be there to teach you, for you to have that opportunity, and it's too hard for people to line up teachers in their own area. I did make that offer one time. I'll still sell equipment to you, but you have to understand up front and promise that you will find a real screen printer in your area. And I kind of told them what to look for. And it seems to be something that people don't follow through on, or don't know how to, one or the other, very well. So I just decided again, without being wishy-washy, just to do it in the way that I know works best. Keep it to where I can control the quality of the equipment, and to keep it to where I can control the quality of the learning, the teaching, the use of the equipment. And in that way, I'm proving my honesty the very best way I can. As far as I know, I'm the only guy on YouTube or anywhere else who has that level of ethics, combining teaching and training. I don't want to make screen printers that might do well. I want to make screen printers that have every benefit up front to gaining the things that they need to gain so that they can do well. It's up to your practice, it's up to your motivation, it's up to what you want to do. Screen printing is so versatile, it can go a number of ways. But if you get started out with guys like this, who have to base their business on tearing down somebody who's been in it for real, ethical, truth, honesty as long as I have, well, they can go on YouTube and do that. They can say all kinds of things, and they do. But I know what the truth is, and so I go where the truth is appreciated and respected the best, and that's locally. YouTube has just become a garbage can to me as far as trying to teach a process to somebody. It's good for watching cute little animals play and, you know, fail compilations and all kinds of entertaining thing. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as really teaching anybody anything that's going to stick and really be understood about screen printing, it's not the place to do it. And that's why I took my over 80 videos down. And there wasn't any of them that was anywhere close to being 1 minute long. And I always felt like I know so much. I do talk a lot because I know so much about the negative and the positive sides of the industry. I always try to mix all that and kind of let people in on all the aspects of that. Some appreciated it, some didn't. But you can't say that I wasn't real and the real deal and the honest guy along the way. Because I took my time, I took the risk to be supported and put down. This guy's hiding. He won't show you his face. He won't show you the equipment he supposedly had before me because it doesn't exist. He's a fake. His claims are fakes. And you need to look out for fakes. So thanks a lot. Again, Happy New Year. It starts tomorrow. And this being New Year's Eve, I'm going to do something, I don't know what yet, but I just wanted to get this final little my piece said. And regarding this guy, he's not going away, and there'll be more. I doubt if anybody can be any worse than this guy is. He's just ridiculous. I mean, just really, he's got some mental problems, but that doesn't happen around here. I can sort through things around here. A guy like this would never get close to my house, and if he did show up, which he didn't, it would have been a bad day for him. So he can go to YouTube. Fakes can always safely rely on YouTube. I come from the real world of screen printing where you either know what you're doing and you can do it day in or day out, or you're down the road. You better know what you're doing well enough to keep your job, and or you better know what you're doing well enough to make it on your own. I did both. I had so much knowledge of screen printing that I did my own thing, and other shops were bringing me in to help them with their various issues because I'm a troubleshooter, because I know what I'm doing. And the whole ball of screen printing, I've loved it, and I've been into it that way as much as I could from the beginning. That's why in 2013, we might as well call it, I do stand up against these guys. Are they a threat to me? No. They're more of a threat to you. They're more of a threat to the perception of screen printing. There's what things are, and there's what people can make them appear to be on YouTube. And unfortunately, there's too many people dragging too many things down. I said it before, I deserve better than that. You deserve better than that. Screen printing deserves better than that, and I hope you will experience it better than that, because I have, and through 2013 and beyond. So Happy New Year, and take care. Thanks for watching this.